You know when you see something online and you think, you know what, I'm going to buy that because that looks absolutely fantastic. And then it turns up and it's not quite what you expected. Let's get into this. Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome down to My Final Cut. My name is Joe and today we're going to be discussing or sharing my honest thoughts on a product that seems to be filling everybody's timelines and feeds on Facebook at the moment. And that is a viral horror-themed watch featuring legendary horror icons. Now, I'm not going to lie, when I saw this online and saw the pictures for it, I thought, you know what, this looks absolutely fantastic. The quality looks amazing. The watch itself looked great, etc., etc. It looked like really good value for money. And ultimately, it's a bit of a Temu experience, that's all I'm going to say, because when it actually turned up, and it took quite a lengthy time, we'll get into that in a bit as well. Yeah, it's not exactly what I expected it to be. Now, it does look a little bit like kind of what is shown online, but I almost feel like this is a bit of sort of like false salesmanship on their part, because ultimately it's nowhere near as good as you'd expect it to be. Now, what is this product and why is it showing up everywhere in people's feeds and beyond? Well, let's talk more about that. Well, of course, we're talking all about the Horror Legends watch that's showing up in people's Facebook feed by a company called Glennock Prints. Now, these people are US based and they produce watches that are printed to order. I mean, that really should have been my kind of first kind of warning with this, you know, printed. Because what you're seeing online does not look printed. And I thought, well, potentially, I don't know, maybe it could be kind of like 3D printed and not actually just kind of printed onto paper. Yeah. But ultimately, you know, it looks absolutely fantastic. You get your name on it. You can even have, you know, different colours of the watch. You can have silver, gold or black. It's almost like gunmetal in a way, really. And then, of course, you get like a little sort of like calendar thing on it as well. And I thought, you know what, for the price they're charging for this, this looks like an absolute bargain. Well, let's go through the costing first before I show you the product, because of course that really is the most important part with this. And the watch itself came in at a total price of £39. Now, of course, the price is stated in dollars, but when you obviously translate that back to pounds, living here in the UK, it comes up at £39. Shipping protection was £3 and shipping was £3. And then the premium watch box, which is an additional extra, came up at £4. And that made my total order altogether, including taxes, of £52. Now you might be thinking, you know what, that's not a bad price for a watch. You could pay a lot more for that. But ultimately, it's the quality that matters over the price. And the quality of the watch differs greatly from the actual pictured image. So with that in mind, let me show you what I actually got. Okay, so here you are. So this is the watch. And as I've seen, I've shown you the picture before. It's a little bit blurry. I don't know why it does this. It should kind of go in a little bit better, but it's really not what is shown online. Now that is printed onto there, and it's definitely not that, as you can see. My name is on there. You've got Chucky, Freddy, Michael Myers, Pennywise, Pinhead and Jason Voorhees. I mean, it is a cool watch, don't get me wrong, but the quality is not 3D. In fact, it's not remotely 3D. It may look it, but it's definitely not. It's very much kind of a flat surface. The watch itself feels very cheap. The metal itself is, well, it's very, very cheap in all fairness. I mean, it's a good wrist, you know, sort of wrist bracelet, but as you can hear, you know, it sounds cheap. And effectively, really, all that is just kind of stainless steel painted black. It's not what shows in the picture. Again, you know, in the picture itself, it shows it's kind of like a really nice sort of sheen gunmetal black. And then this is what turns up. Now, I'm not disappointed entirely with this because it is a nice watch. I don't know whether or not I'm going to be wearing it. I mean, obviously, you know, I bought it to wear it, so ultimately I should be. I've got another watch to wear in the meantime. But in all honesty, really, actually, you know, my name's on there. I've got exactly everything really that's kind of shown. It's just not the type of quality they're actually advertising. Now they do other watches, you know, a full range of them over on the website that are different themes, different types. You've got Harry Potter, you've got all that sort of thing as well, you know, F1, stuff like that. But it's not ultimately kind of what is sort of been, well, what's been sold really. And the bracelet part itself is quite difficult as well. Let me show you how that works. The bracelet really is a bit of a weird one because it literally, you got two little clasps there, and you, I'll try and do this on camera the best I can, press those in, and it comes apart like that. Now, in terms of getting it on and off, obviously that's going to make it quite easy, but in terms of actually doing the bracelet back up, it's a bit fiddly. I mean, obviously you can do that easy enough when it's not on your arm, but when it actually is on your arm, it's a very different matter. And to be fair as well, again, that looks quite sort of like flimsy, if I'm honest. Doesn't look amazing. It looks like it could quite easily break. I mean, those hinges there look really sort of small as well. And the clasp itself looks a bit cheap. I mean, you know, it does exactly what it's supposed to do and it clips on. But again, it's just not... I mean, you know, I'll be honest, I don't know really what I expected from this, but in all fairness, I kind of expected better than this. Regardless, though, it is still a nice watch. There's plenty of other options available. And as I said, for 52 quid, really, you can't really go wrong. The one big bugbear that I do have, though, is the shipping time and how long that actually took to kind of get to me. So let's go through that. Well, I first placed my order for this watch on the 11th of January. And of course, you know, knowing it was coming from the States, I knew it would take a little bit of time. I expect normally roughly around about sort of 2 weeks. That seems to be kind of the general turnaround time for these things to sort of get to you. Well, at first it wasn't entirely clear it was definitely from the States, and there was a weird kind of sort of company that were doing it called Yun Express, which were kind of dealing with it on the other side. Ultimately, of course, again, that did turn out to be American. And then once it got shipped over again, it took a little bit of time on this side before it turned up with Every, aka Hermes, which, I'll be honest, aren't exactly the best company. That's my personal opinion. But in all fairness, it took 3 weeks in the end for the watch to actually get to me. So placed the order on the 11th of January and it finally turned up on the 29th of January, which is, by my reckoning, quite a bit of time, in all fairness. Nearly 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks. It was a long wait for a watch, in all honesty, and if you were ordering this as a kind of gift for somebody, you know, ultimately, I mean, there are, I think, options where you can choose faster delivery, but if it is coming across from the States, you're going to still have to wait for it quite a fair bit anyway. So if you do want to order one of these, do it well in advance. Regardless of that, though, 3 weeks later, this finally turned up, and again, I ordered the watch box. You know, I had to do that, and in all fairness, it is literally just a printed cardboard box with kind of a little kind of cushion for the watch to sit on. The watch itself isn't exactly very I mean, it's sitting all right now, but it does kind of wobble around otherwise as well, so it doesn't sit firmly on that all the time. And that's the lid. So I mean, in all fairness, for 4 quid, that isn't bad. You know, it is exactly what you expect. But overall, the watch quality isn't amazing. Yeah, is what it is. It's a horror watch. It's got horror characters on it. And I'll probably still wear it at some point. But yeah, in my opinion, really, given what the image shows, could have been better. And there you have it. So that's exactly what you can expect if you do choose to buy one of these Glennock Prince Horror Legends watches. As I said, stated at £39. Total order cost came to 52 and it took 3 weeks to ship. That's the reality of ordering one of these kind of viral things that do go through everybody's feeds. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that's seen this. I'm sure this has turned up in a lot of other people's feeds as well. But ultimately, sadly, I'm a bit of a sucker for buying stuff off Facebook and ultimately kind of been sucked into kind of the marketing side. I even kind of got the t-shirt I'm wearing, the Spooky Island t-shirt, that came off Facebook as well. And in all fairness, sometimes they're really good products, sometimes they're really hit and miss. Ultimately, it kind of ends up being like buying stuff from Temu. You know, you kind of expect them to be great and they kind of make them out to look absolutely fantastic, and then they turn up and sometimes, especially like this time, they just aren't what you expect them to be. But I would love to know your thoughts on these. Have you bought one of these watches? And if you have, what do you think of it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. But for now, if you have enjoyed this video and you want to see more product review videos just like this, make sure that you do hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to avoid missing out. And if you've enjoyed this video in particular, I would love it if you could smash the like button to let me know. But for myself, Joe, this is my final cut, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.